us here in the room. We'll just start with opening remarks on today's match here against Denver.
I mean, it's definitely a frustrating game. I think we wanted to show ourselves better than we did today, but I mean, we're early on in the season and we can use today as a learning game, so I think that's what we're going to try to do.
Thank you for that. Starting any questions here, we'll start with Max.
Hi, my name is Max VEDA WORLD. Pleasure to meet you. Condolences on the loss. This offense just seems to be in a state of flux these last 4 matches. You obviously were very beneficial on having the PK right before the end of the half, but it seems like, particularly tonight, kind of being the epitome of it, especially with how the first half was almost kind of one-sided. What do you feel like in over these last 4 matches has been just the main inconsistent problem with the offense, if you could have pointed it to one?
I think there's probably a couple things you could point to, but I think moving forward, we kind of got to get back to the basics. I think we have a lot of youth on our team, and it's learning and growing and playing together and learning what people are good at and what they're not. And I think if we can kind of get back to just playing 1 and 2 touch around the box and trying to keep the ball in the other team's half, I think that could really help us hopefully get into the team's box a couple times and hopefully score goals. But I think if we continue to learn and grow and keep playing together, that'll come. But I think right now we're struggling with that a bit.
Being in the midfield, you're obviously well aware of where the defense needs to be, at least in the box. And tonight, it just seemed like that was an epitome of struggle, both on that first goal and obviously at the end. Where do you feel like the box defense, which had seemingly been one of the few silver linings for you guys in this losing streak, where do you feel like that just fell for you?
Yeah, I think it's another thing that's kind of back to the basics. I think we need to work on kind of defending in transition and kind of being down to player, whether it's 3v2s, 2v1s, but I think getting more pressure on the ball in the box. I think we were a little bit soft tonight when it came to that, and I think if moving forward we can be a little bit grittier and get in on tackles and mark in the box, we'll be able to move forward, and I know we're capable of it because we've done it in the past, but I think tonight we kind of fell short.
The irony could be at least felt when Delaney had her opportunity in that second half. You guys are obviously well aware of her and well aware of what she's capable of. For her to have her first goal in a different uniform in this building, what can you just say about at least her talent and what she's now going to mean to a new team, and maybe how different it felt, just her being on a different sideline?
I mean, Delaney's an extremely talented player, and we knew that going into the game, and she had a great goal, and kudos to her, and I think it stinks to see her on another team scoring goals. We wish she was scoring goals for us, but at the same time, we're happy for her, and we know she's going to continue to do well for Denver, and I guess next game, we just got to be a little bit more locked in and not let that happen.
And lastly, I mentioned 2 weeks ago to a couple of your players and your coach about what kind of stamina it was going to take to get through this month, and having to go through the gauntlet and having the sluggishness of Utah, and now this. To have at least a couple more days off, do you feel like that's going to at least be a little bit of a benefit, knowing that you guys have been kind of in this stretch of basically playing every 3 or 4 days? Do you feel like that will at least, nearly getting a week, is that maybe at least a silver lining going into at least Friday?
Oh, definitely. I think the rest will be great, but I think even though we had a midweek game this week, you can't really point to that and say that that was the reason we didn't play well. I think we could have been grittier, we could have been harder, we could have been stronger, and I think having that rest will help us against Kansas City, but we kind of got to change that mentality if we want to do better.
Yes, thank you. Is there any play in Spanish? Hello. Yes.
Maybe I'll translate.
Perfect.
A pesar de la derrota abultada, ¿qué rescata de este partido?
Any other takeaways that you look towards now that this game is behind you that can help the team move forward towards the next match?
I think we really just got to grow as a team. I think it's easy when you lose a game like this to point fingers or have big accusations or whatever it may be, but I think if we can come together as a team and really focus on what we can do to play well against Kansas City next game, that's all we can control, and we got to do that to move forward.
Al final del partido se adelantaron filas y se vio cohesión, entendimiento. Hay derrotas que te sirven más que que una victoria. Con respecto a ello que dice.
We saw the team come together at the final whistle. We saw the message for Bree share with the team. Sometimes tough results really brings a team together. What do you take away from the team's message there towards the end of the match?
I really just think it's an opportunity for us to grow and us to connect and grow together. I think we are a little bit separate right now, and to do well, we got to play as one team, and I think that's something we can work on this week and hopefully bring out against Kansas City.
We'll wrap up with that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.